Don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown the mind. I am great morning, Diva Robbie. Great morning, Miss Theo. Great morning, Rena. Great morning, Janice Davis. Great morning, Tina Fit for Life. Great morning, great morning. Let's go. Great morning, Exquisite. Great morning, Miss Shirley. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go. We are warriors. Great morning, Doris. Great morning, Kiki. Great morning. Let's go. Let's go. Great morning. Great morning. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. San Diego. Great morning. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's Wednesday. Hey, hey. This is me. Let's go. Let's go. When the sharp words wanna cut me down. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna send a bird, gonna drown mine. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Great, amazing morning, everybody. Jump right back on, jump right back on. Oh my God. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning. I'm seeing all of the beautiful people come inside of the room this morning. Y'all are coming in by the pound. The Slim Chick, Shauna is queening. My Four Kids, Janice Daly, Doris, Diva Roby 68. Everybody is now tuning in this morning. I want to say something this morning. If you guys are ever having an issue or a problem and you want to talk about it, feel free to send me an email or DM or whatever it is. I would really prefer for you guys to not hold your issues or your problems inside, because what I'm noticing is that a lot of us, we hold our problems inside when we really need to let some things off our chest. Now, I do want to say this. Don't just start hitting me up and saying that, your toilet is broke or, your refrigerator hasn't been running and all of this type of stuff just to start having a conversation with me. And the reason that I'm doing this is because on yesterday, I got an amazing message from someone, and she emailed me. Well, she DM'd me, and I'm going to read her DM. And if Carol Hawkins is on today, I would definitely like to have you on my show so we can discuss this. You'll be surprised of all of the messages and letters that people reach out to me with. So she says, "Hello, my name is Carol Hawkins. I'm a 57-year-old female. My life has been turned up. From the age of 2 days old, my mother didn't want kids, so she left me in the hospital. Then my grandmother, husband's sister took me. I was raised in church every Sunday, went to Catholic school. When she passed when I was 12 years old, the lady came to me at the funeral and said she was my mother. I was a child, so what could I do? So I went with her. Then her husband raped me, and she blamed me for it. Then she started beating me with anything she could put her hands on. I would be wept up black and blue. Then she introduced me to this man and said he was my godfather. So he raped me. Then him and my stepfather would go back and forth. It would be at his house. I cried, fight, bite, and everything. Then I ran away so many times. Finally, I had the opportunity to go to social services. They took pictures, put me in a group home. My mother still had to say so, I guess. They sent me back with her. So now it was the time for school, and I went to Catholic school, to public school, big change. That was elementary school. Then went to high school. Then my mother popped up. Drama started. So I ran away from foster home. Only came home late night. My foster mom had my back. It was just up and down for me. For the summer, she would send me to South Carolina. Came back in September, time to go to school. Then I got a job working as a barmaid, and I was attracted to the houseman. So we started seeing each other. He was introduced to my father, and my father came to the bar, sat him in a booth, put his guy on the table, and told him, or put his gun on the table. I guess that's what she meant. Put his gun on the table and told him he better not hurt me. So when I got ready to stop seeing him, he beat me black and blue. So my father went looking for him, couldn't find him. So I was at my full-time job, and he would come and harass me, slap me and everything. So I moved to a secluded place nobody knew but one person. So I took my father's car and he had mine. That worked out for a while. T. This young lady poured out her heart about what she had been through. And I always say, no matter what you are going through, there's probably somebody else who's going through it 10 times worse than you are. Just could you even just imagine of just being molested by two people inside of your family, or just being taken advantage of by two people inside of your family at the same time, and you try to tell it to somebody that you love and they're faulting you for it? I asked her to get on the show. She hadn't responded back yet. And I know that there's a lot of us who have these kind of stories. And I know that when you have these stories, that you could hold all of this stuff inside. And while holding all of this stuff inside, it causes you to become a wild kind of person. That's like leaving a dog inside of a cage. That's all a dog knows is a cage. Your dog is not supposed to be put in a cage unless that dog is being bad. Because if it's living inside of a cage, it will never ever understand the difference. You can't keep your dog inside of a cage the full time of their lifespan. The dog is meant to run and be free, just like you. Coco, bless, you can come. We was looking for you. You can go, come on live today. Press the button and go live. We was looking for you. You must be got on late. We had a whole shift change in the story. So why don't you just go ahead and, yeah. Thank you, Cornetta. Yeah, I was looking for you. We were speaking about you and everything. You have to trust somebody. It's easier to hold it in than to have someone throw it in your face or judge you. Exactly. And that's why most people don't speak on their issues or their problems or the scenarios of whatever it is that they're going on, they have going on, because nobody wants to be judged. Nobody wants to be judged or have it thrown in their face. That's the main reason. It all boils down to trusting a person. Can I trust you with what is going on in my life that I'm not even able to deal with it yet? And I'm asking for help, and I'm looking for, someone to be there for me in a lending ear. Can I trust you with this? Can I talk to you and tell you what is truly going on in my life, that you're not going to throw it up in my face later on? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody wants to feel as if, like you're judging them, like their mistakes that they've made should be just worn on their sleeves or worn on the front of their t-shirts. Great morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I was looking yesterday and I literally thought you was going on with some other person.
No, you got on late, must be.
Okay. I said, hold up. I thought I was going on with Reggie this morning. I can't see you. What happened?
We can see you putting on your makeup.
Yeah, I had to put something on my lips. My lips be so dry.
Yeah, we see you trying to hurt.
Good morning. We see you. Reggie gets me up in the morning for my prep of the day before I start my meditation with Coach Stormy. Yes. So I always got to get up with you first. You got me up early at 7 in the morning. So
well, I'm gonna keep you guys up early in the morning. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Lakia. So
I'm thankful because I would still be asleep. I need to get up early. Being COVID had took my whole lifestyle, but I'm thankful for you letting me come on your platform. I'm very thankful and grateful that you wanted to even hear my story. Let me get me a chair.
Yes, please.
But I'm in Miami. Actually, I got to meet some of you guys this past month. Mm-hmm. It was very, very, very very exciting. I'm just pretty much overwhelmed, with the whole that you guys are like super, super real. And it just been motivating me to stay positive and stay on my grind. Mm-hmm. And try to level up. I had so much discouragement being around just regular people who was elevating their life. And I just been so antisocial here in Miami for 8 years. Like I told you, I was a scammer back in the day in New Jersey, in North Carolina also. And it just, a lot of things went sideways, me hanging around the wrong people.
So what?
And I pretty much, excuse me guys, my eyelashes coming off. I pretty much, hold on, let me put my shirt on.
Okay. Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready.
I know, right? And this is where I'm caught off guard because I was like, he's not going to put me on. I was like, he probably was looking for me yesterday. And I'm like, hold on, I'm here. But I didn't want to pressure you because the first person you put on, they didn't come through or whatever. They didn't want to talk about their story. But let's get back to this, going broke at 26, losing everything from a life of not working by the sweat of your brow, but
fix your eyelash first before it fall off.
Oh, no, where's that? Okay,
yeah, put a little. We're gonna wait for you. Put a little glue on it.
Okay, hold on. I got it.
Put a little glue. Put a little glue before it fall off because it was about to fall.
I'll be at the flea market later to get it done, so it's okay.
Okay. All right, just don't let it fall off now.
Flea market later to get it done.
Okay.
But I pretty much I'm just so thankful to be in a position I'm in now after all the years I messed up my life because I ended up going to prison behind it also.
That was your first time, your first felony. You went to prison?
Yes, I actually didn't go to prison. I was on probation. I did jail weekends in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
In 2009 and 2010, because when I got my case in 2006, I went on a run for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
My whole crew, we was indicted for $1.2 million.
Wow.
Area. And being that the feds picked it up because we had cases from D.C. to Atlanta. Or whatever. For the checks that...
Oh, you were doing checks.
I was making my own checks.
3
years old. I learned how to get business bank accounts and make my own checks.
Wow.
I am 9 years clean of not making no checks. I've been in Miami in the biggest fraud state making no checks. Okay? It's been crazy because I went poor, you know what I'm saying, to really see what it was like to have nothing. Literally, I went homeless here. I lived a regular life. We're talking about a kid who was making $10,000 to $20,000 a day. Every car. When I moved to North Carolina, I had every house. I had 5 houses in North Carolina. And I didn't know what money really was, you know what I'm saying, to me. I literally just had so many friends for no reason. I was buying them cars. I was buying them cribs. I was showing them different things, giving them checks for free that was worth $8,000 and $9,000 at a time. I was just giving it away because it seemed like it was just so easy. And how I got in that way, just hanging around a bunch of guys, who was in the game and they was teaching me or whatever. And I ended up getting this tattoo after I got my first case. And I thought it was cool. I got this tattoo right here, guys. It say ATM.
Wow.
And you see all the dollar signs, and then you see Mel. Mel was the one who started calling us ATM. And it was so crazy because, I was just a little girl coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought it was cool, you know what I'm saying, that we was able to get away with, just getting all this money, from the banks and the post office. And the first time Mel, R.I.P. to him, he got killed in 2005. And he the one taught me how to sign checks and make the deposits and go and pick up the drops, early in the morning. So I just was really under a crazy, greed, and greed experience. And it took hold of me for probably almost 15 years, and when I finally, started getting the hang of it, I went crazy. Like literally, I did so much, in my life. I can't really bring out names and stuff, but it just was, I had like everybody that was close to me, was down. You know, they was helping me. They was giving me their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Giving me their information, and all I needed was your PIN number and your card. So I would pay you $1,000 just to get your PIN number and your card, and I smash it for like $5,000 to $8,000 the most. I would tell people, I had this person, go in the bank and get it, so I had to pay them $2,000. So I had to get this person to go in the post office, so I had to pay them $2,000. But really, in all reality, I was going in the post office. I was walking in the bank with your bank acting like you. And I literally, I had no type of remorse. Like I was going hard and I was just living life, and I was going from Florida to California, back to New Jersey, back to Florida, back to New Jersey. Like my first checks I hit, it was in Duval County in Jacksonville. So I was all the way from the top to the west back to the East Coast with busting checks. And a lot of you I don't miss the lifestyle. I don't miss hurting people like I used to. I transitioned so much when I got to Miami, and that's why I stayed to myself more. Everybody was like, dang, she's so weird. She don't got friends. She don't have people she around. Because I had to fill Miami out. I already know you are who you are wherever you go.
Say that again. You know what I'm saying? Say that again.
You are who you are wherever you go. Yeah. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter. Those same demons, those same things that you experience in those other states could happen in the same state. There's nothing new under the sun. I had to realize that. And when I came here, I was so tired. I was on a run. I came down here with my Mercedes-Benz, my laptop. I was printing out counterfeit money. I had learned how to print out counterfeit money. It was crazy. And I had just got out of prison in 2012.
Wow.
And this how much my life just been up and down in shambles. Like I even was trying to go to school at one time, like trying to wash my money and go to college and everything. Like I was literally trying to go to school, get back my life, and I couldn't. Like literally, it was just hard. I would finish school, and like I'm still on the North Carolina Board of Nursing. I was trying to go to nursing school. Like I paid cash money for Wake Tech Community College and Millamont College for me to go to school for nursing. I wanted to change my life, but every time the money aspect came in, I just couldn't let it go. So when I finally went to prison in 2011, when I did valet probation, after all those years of running, and I got tired for a little while, then I go on the run again. And then I got tired again. And this time when they caught me, they was trying to give me some years. And through the grace of God, and that was in 2011. And I was on probation then from when I turned myself in from the case from 2006. Because when they got us in 2006, I ended up just going on the run for 3 years. And I didn't know what they was going to do with me because I was the one that wasn't flashy. I didn't really, at the time, I wasn't really doing nothing. Like I wasn't buying big cars and, I wasn't out in the, in the open with it. I was stacking my money and trying to go to school. So when the feds came, I didn't even know my brothers, I didn't even know they had ran up those checks that much. I was giving them the checkbooks for like $500. You know what I'm saying? So now that everybody done did their time. Everybody, it's over with. The case, they could never ever tell now what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is that I just put myself in a situation where I only got a restitution of $20,000. I went to prison for that or whatever. They already, I went to prison for embezzlement. I went to prison for forgery. I went to prison for common law uttering, meaning, making my own checks and everything. And identity theft, financial card theft, because I was making my own credit cards. Oh, God, thank you for getting me out of there. It's chill breaking because when I went to prison in 2011, that's when I really had to sit down and think like what I was going to do. And a lot of you not. When I got out, the same thing happened again. Like I was so devastated in prison, but when I got out, I went to those same people. The same people that I did not supposed to go with. And opened up Pandora's box again. And the demons came out again. And it was like 10 times worse, because this time I was printing up counterfeit money and cutting up counterfeit money with my brothers. They back in the feds now.
Wow.
And I would have been right there with them. This time I would have made it to the feds.
Listening to your story just like brought back so many memories of the old me. Listening to your story just was like, damn. And I before I get into it, I heard you say something like you started to have ups and downs. One thing I realize is that people don't understand when you've lived your life like that for a very, very, very long time, it is very, 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 very hard to transition back into regular life. It is very, very hard to transition back into to the reality of now you're going to do the right thing, because like she said, she was making $10,000 or more a day. So when you making that kind of money on a daily basis, and then now you have to start from scratch all the way down to, and what I mean from scratch, I'm talking about.
I was sleeping on the floor in the shelter here. I didn't want to go back that bad. That I slept at Camilla's house. I slept at the Chapman house.
Wow.
I was literally, and I didn't want to go back to New Jersey. I didn't want to go back to North Carolina. I had came here on a run. They was trying to lock me up again in North Carolina, and I was so scared. I left everything. I had a guy who I was with for 9 years, and I helped him raise his kids, and, everybody used to call us Bonnie and Clyde. They call him Craighead back in Raleigh, North Carolina. He's like one of the biggest dope niggas out there, whatever. And he was in prison when I got out. He was going to prison when I got out. I got out February 17th. He got out. I mean, they ended up convicting him and telling him he can't even leave the courthouse on February 17th.
Wow.
So the same day I was coming out, the same day he was going in for prison.
Wow.
It was just, my story is just crazy when it comes down to me being on the run, coming from North Carolina. And I got my first felony in Florida from North Carolina in my last, because they didn't want to come get me when they caught me in Miami Beach. So when they caught me in Miami Beach, I stayed locked up in TGK and in the county for like 33 days.
Oh my God, you just gave me flashbacks when you said TGK and all of them places. Lord Jesus Christ. Like,
when I tell you, I literally thought it was like a nightmare, because I thought I really escaped North Carolina, but it followed me all the way here in Miami, and it wasn't like I couldn't get it off. And a lot of you not, when I went on the run, I was just trying to find the coastline where I could just be at the ocean and just be free. I don't know what it was, something about me being at the beach that always made me feel relaxed and just calm. And I felt like everything's just something with me with the ocean or whatever. And I came so far to where I got to South Beach in 2013 February. And everything changed from there. But I had to get caught. Because I had took the Mercedes-Benz from the car dealership right off the car. They wanted the car back. I had already had the car for a year, and they wanted the car back. They was trying to repo it because I missed 1 month, and I had the car for a whole year, and the lady was just being nasty at the bank. They took the car. I had an extra key, and I went back to the car lot and got the car and left and went to Miami.
Wow, I'm still here. I can hear you.
So when I got to Miami, it was like I was here for like 3 or 4 days. I had came with all my money. I had some other stuff I was doing or whatever, and I went to Bed Harbor Mall. It's still all on my Facebook, like all the pictures, the dirt. It's still on my Facebook right now. After I got out of prison, I kept pictures and recorded everything that happened. And when I go back on my pictures, I be like, oh my God, like Leah literally was so confused. You really been so tormented in your life with the way you was like, you really didn't know that you was even getting yourself back into a confusion situation. And when I got to prison, so I pretty much, I thought I was going to change, but I didn't. And like I said, I ended up going on a run and got to Miami in 2013, which is 8.5 years ago. And I was tired. When I tell you, I was tired. Like to the point where when I got in TGK, I was on my knees so hard. Like I still got the calendar and everything when I was locked up. And I was like, Lord, what's getting ready to happen? Because they didn't even know what North Carolina wanted to do. They didn't even want to pay to extradite me back. They said, well, I'll take care of her. Y'all charge her there. So when they charged me here for my last felony, 8 years ago, they charged me with Grand Theft Auto. And I took it or whatever they did. I said, how y'all gonna charge me for my car? All I did was take the car back. Like, why would they report the car stolen from me? And then I'm the owner of the car. Like, the devil had me so messed up that that pit was so crazy because I literally got a felony for my own. It wasn't like I stole somebody else's car. The car was registered in my name. It was financed in my name. It was almost bought. And it was just such a crazy story.
And the car came from North Carolina, right?
Yes, yeah.
I think that's state laws. I think that's state laws or something. I don't know, because back in the days, I think my friends, they would go to North Carolina or South Carolina or somewhere place like that, and they would go get cars and they would bring them down, and they were doing all kind of shit. And it was like because they committed the crime in North Carolina. That's like, say for instance, you go and you get a loan for a car and you don't make like the first 3 payments or something like that, it's automatically like a theft or whatever. So I don't know what your situation was, but yeah, that's
I bought the car probably like 2 months after I got out of prison because I ended up hanging back with my brothers again. But he pretty much was like super my downfall because I taught him how to make checks and he became like my protege. And he went crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? And he pretty much, like, he was just that one that didn't give a fuck about the feds. He was on federal probation. And it was like, he was ready for whatever. He was ready to just, fuck the system over always, even when he got out the feds. And I lie to you not, like, when I finally went on the run again, and I came to my whatever, I had already practically paid for the car. The bank lady was just acting weird. She was acting weird like the rest of these girls here, jealous or whatever, that I was a black girl and Mercedes Benz right out of prison. You know what I'm saying? So she know I was struggling. I had 2 houses. Even when you in the lifestyle of stealing, you still tend to run it up because you go ahead and get another $10,000-$15,000.
Yeah.
For that. You never know how the licks go. So you just run through the money and do whatever. And I was getting high. I was popping pills back then. I was, always smoking weed. I had a pound of weed in the car when I came to Miami, I smoked a whole pound of weed coming all the way to Miami. It took me 3 days to get here because I stopped at every beach. I stopped at Savannah Beach. I stopped at South Carolina Beach, at Jacksonville Beach. I stopped at Daytona Beach. I stopped at Cocoa Beach, you know. So it took me 3 days to find which coast I was going to go to. So when I didn't know Miami was going to be war with me forever, you know, Miami police. And I didn't know those Cubans over there was like, you know, like a real gang, you know, and they you know, they run down on people or whatever in the group or whatever. And they, you know, they got their little cliques, and they still do now in the police department. I had witnessed that when I first got here, because when they locked me up, I had to do probation. They said, "Oh, you came here on vacation, and now you go stay here on probation."
That's one thing that they say. That's one thing that they say about when you come to Miami. Period. It's like you will come on vacation and you're gonna leave on probation. You think you could come to Miami and you're gonna just come run wild, like, because people have that type of mentality, but you'll be surprised. And one thing about Miami Beach was one of the places where I caught most of my felonies. That's the crazy thing. That is the crazy. Like, I'm listening to everything that you're saying. I'm listening to everything that you're saying, and everything that you are saying is like giving me full flashbacks of where I was, who I was with, what we were doing. Like it was just like so crazy, the lifestyle that I had chose. And the reason why I say I chose it was because, you know, I chose the flashy lifestyle. I chose to, you know, go out there and to make the fast money. It was like, who the hell about to get ready to have a job? And I'll never forget, you know, like if you read my book and you understand some things, like what you just said is where I was in my book. I talk about how I just broke down and I got on the floor and I just cried and I just yelled to God, like, take it all away from me. You know what I'm saying? And I went through so much. I went through so much because you're living this lifestyle. And every time that you win a little bit, you lose everything. You win a little bit and then you lose everything. You win a little bit and then you lose everything. So it was like, who the hell wants to keep continuously living like that? Yes, right. Yes, it looks good. And I started seeing myself. I started looking at myself outside of myself, and I started saying to myself at a young age, I'm getting old. And I'm like, I'm getting too old to be continuously going to jail for this type of stuff. And then now I got to start all over. So it's like, why not take this energy that I have that I'm putting into this stuff, going and getting laptops, going to, you know, different Wi-Fi's, doing this, doing that, all of the stuff that we doing, you know, doing what you was doing, all of that stuff, like everything that you said was a whole playback. And it was like, I'm not about to keep doing this. Like, I really, really, really am not about to keep doing this. And that's when I made a decision and I said that I was going to get into the music industry. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just said, I'm going to do it. It was me and my cousin. I will never, ever forget this. And I had one last credit card. And that one last credit card that I had, I took it and we went and bought a keyboard. The keyboard was probably like about $3,000 and something. We took that keyboard and I had never, ever, ever returned back to doing the negativity. It was like everything just went black after that. Because now it's like you got to get up and you got to figure out where your next dollar going to come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to really, really figure out, you know, and then you start seeing like shit ain't coming easy like how it was when you going out there throwing rocks at the chain gang. Shit ain't coming easy like how it was when you going out there and you busting a check or you going and getting somebody's card and withdrawing the money out of their account and all of this type of stuff. Like, shit ain't going easy like that. So now it's like you have to become super, super humble, because now you working for somebody, you got a job, you got to take the shit that they giving you and all of that type of stuff. And it just starts to make you feel like, and then you always have that you always have that little thing in the back of your mind, like, I don't got to take this shit, because if I really want to go make this money that I'm used to making, I could really go do this. But you already know what the repercussions is for doing that. What's the consequences for you to go step back into that arena where you already know? And it was like, I'm not about to do that. So with the sacrifice, I believe, is what really made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? It really, really made me stronger. And I'm sure that it's making you stronger on the way too, because look at you, you got your place now. You say you've been 9 years where you haven't been doing nothing. And now you're understanding and learning that you got to get out there and hustle and bustle. Use that same hustle that you had, but use it in the right way. You got to.
Whether it goes down or it go up, I'm prepared. And this is where I'm thankful right now, because whether my money or it goes down, I'm prepared not turn. I fought that greed demon. When I was in TGK for those 30 days, a lot of you not. I've been struggling to transition to do everything correctly, because we're never going to be perfect. But the battle was with those checks and with me stealing people's identity. That was my biggest battle, because I know that was going to get me the most time. I knew that was going to get me in a situation where I was going to lose it all again. So when I made a clear decision when I got out of TGK that I wasn't going to even touch no checks, everything started coming to me. Like, no matter how hard the struggle been here in Miami, and I didn't want to go back home and put nothing on my family, and I just wanted to be somewhere by myself. I didn't know people and build relationships here. I literally left everything. Like, I literally was like, I'm going to work jobs. I'm going to go to school, and I hustled my little trees every now and then. I did do that. And to be honest, like, I left that alone. You know what I'm saying? And I got into the legal edible business, finally 3 years ago. And I got a nice little tent in Wynwood Market and everything, and selling, working with this brand Hydro Pops, who has his hemp license and everything. And I had legal edibles. I was selling for the past 3 years, which was a little better for me because it was the most money I was making. And everything with all the stuff that I did here in Miami. I waitress. When I tell you I had more jobs here in Miami than I ever had in North Carolina, in New Jersey. I had more jobs here working. You understand me? And then so many people were like, oh, she's so confused. She don't know if she want to be a promoter, if she want to be a rapper, if she want to be a housekeeper, if she want to be a bartender. Because I worked so much. Like, this is why I always stay afloat here in Miami and didn't really need nobody, because I worked my ass off. When I got out this last time, I was in jail and on probation here. Miami straightened my ass up, like literally. And I was so afraid of, the swamps and pork and beans, because I was like seeing those areas and I was like, damn, ain't nothing different here. Miami, this shit is rugged. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is ruthless here too. So I was like, oh, you can't play with Miami like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely, they ain't playing no games. And they demons look way worse than where you came from. And I had to respect Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even with, the famous people who was here, that I always looked up to, I just was like, like Rick Ross and, Trick Daddy and, Trina and all that stuff, whatever. I was really into their vibe because I knew how to freestyle, but I didn't know how to put myself in those positions, So I got into a promoter position where I was doing promotions on South Beach, selling tickets for the clubs, and I promoted for Trina a couple of times for Club Exchange and also when it was Dream and also when she was at Cameo, and I sold a lot of tickets, for Trina. And for her parties and stuff, like when she came in host for Cameo, Club Exchange, Studio 23, all this stuff like this. I've been a promoter on South Beach for 8 years. That's one of my independent, careers or whatever. And I pretty much found a lot of work here. Like, If you not a hustler in Miami and a grinder, you gonna be broke.
Exactly.
Miami got so many outlets, and this is what changed my life. Like the transition was worth the year because I had so many opportunities. All the entrepreneurs that I chased down, and they multimillionaires, and I chased my dream. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why I ended up in you guys' faces because guess what? It was time. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much needed to be around people who was making real, legitimate money.
Right.
Legitimate ties. Because I was already with people who was frauds.
Right.
I was already with people who was trying not to build generational wealth.
Right.
So now the big promoters and the people who own these businesses was giving me opportunities to make money. I've been blessed. I've been blessed and highly favored so far, like through my transition. But the roller coaster that I was talking about, it's been real. It's been real. And now I'm on a steady Ferris wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine your life going up and then going down. And then going, it's a balance.
Of course.
This is what our life is about. It's not about having everything always being up.
Right.
Because we're going to go, whether it's money or whether it's, you know what I'm saying, life problems, we're going to have to go through some ups and some downs. And this is what I realized with the tough times in my life. Even though everybody may be like, oh, she got a nice house, she got a decent car, everything is okay. No, baby, it wasn't never that easy. It never was that, you know, I had the structure. It took me 8 years in Miami to get to where I'm at now, to even have the skills to actually force myself to get around the right people. You know what I'm saying? And I literally was so afraid because I was like, damn, I'm so shameful of my past. I did so much fucked up shit. Why would people trust me? Why would people even look at me to be their friend or want me to even be their, you know, their protege? You know what I'm saying? Why would they want to take me up under their wings? And then I started not being afraid no more when I wanted to reach other heights. I'm like, I want to go to the next level, so I can't be afraid to talk to this person. I can't be afraid to communicate with these people because they might be your way to getting the education and the guidance and the knowledge you need. And that's when I got into the TLC business last year. Because of the pandemic, I didn't even know 1,000 Families or Coach Stormy. None of y'all was even here. I knew Trina. I know all the entertainers because I'm in the music business. I love writing and I'm a freestyle
Who did you
artist,
join?
You know, so
who did you join?
Pretty much, I really wanted to know a little bit more about the digital marketing side of drop shipping and stuff because I went to Miami-Dade College in 2008 for digital marketing.
Who did you join?
Management. So
who did you join in the business?
I came under Coach Stormy. I did. I got the email. I was super excited because even though I tell people it's hard, it's not easy, big life changer. If people come in the game thinking that, oh, I could just do it and make a lot of money. No, you need guidance. You need people to teach you how to get to those ranks and those levels. So this is why I'm on you guys like right on right. Because I really want to be one of those successors in this business. You know, I don't know if anything, you know, if I would ever break up. I don't know. But I'm working towards it. I've been out every day these past couple of months, even more. I did let go a little bit when one of my friends went with. I paid for her to get in the business, and I binary myself last year by getting, you know, opening up 2 more on my right and my left leg. So I know how to, you know, binary myself and everything. So I'm still learning a little more. I'm trying to learn how to 5 things this month. July is mine. I've been in Coach Stormy meditation group for almost 3 months now. I invested in that. I'm just looking to invest more. Coach Stormy to command my mornings. You know, right thought is mastery. I'm super thankful to even have women that are encouraging me. You know what I'm saying? I had so many women gave me so much hate and I had so many hate crimes come against me through gang members because they were so mad. You know, I took their money at one time or whatever. Maybe I still got trying to get in with me because you know I took their little bank account money or whatever. And you know, not saying I was all perfect. You know, I'm shameful for the stuff I went through. You know, I really wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I was a lost person. I was very lost and confused, and now I'm really starting to get my identity being around people who do what I've been through. When I met you guys on the rooftop, I don't know if you remember me. I got a picture with you at Hennessy Fitness.
Yes, I do remember you. I remember you.
When I hugged you guys, I felt like some super energy. And the first time I bumped up on you was at the food drive, and I had my mask on. Didn't know it was me, and I had a hoodie on or whatever, and I was still nervous. I was nervous. I was so nervous to come around 1,000 Families because you guys are like the flyest, dopest Black people I ever met in my life. And I was like, yo, they really getting this chicken out here. Like, they not capping. They pulling up in Rolls Royces. They pulling up in Lamborghinis. Like, they pulling up in brand new cars. They getting some chicken that I don't know nothing about. I need to figure out how to get this money too, so I can generational wealth for my family, and I can have a good sanity in my life to where I really made it out, you know. And that's just my. I think I'm you let me get on and everything, and I'm pretty much I'm working on just being the next millionaire for you guys and a success story.
Wow, I'm grateful that you even tap back in. I'm grateful for everybody that is listening this morning, listening to a story about transitioning. It is not easy to transition. Like everything that you are hearing, like I tell everybody, like if you ever hear a story of somebody that comes home from prison, comes home from jail, and then they end up back in jail, is because it's very, very hard to jump back into society when you have been used to doing something for a very, very, very long time. And what mentally happens to an individual is that they play a game of catching up. They got to catch up to where they left off. And nobody wants to be a quote unquote shit eater. That's what they call them in jail. You know, somebody that is like somebody that don't have nothing. You got nothing going on for yourself. Nobody is sending you commissary. Nobody is sending you a card. Nobody, like, people look at that in jail. They pick on you in jail if you don't have family. They talk about that. Like, so when you get out of jail and you trying to move forward with your new life, and you realize that things have to start all the way from ground zero to, you know, picking it back up to where not where it used to be, but to a new place with all of your real energy, to where it's nothing illegal. You're not tapping into drugs. You're not tapping into white collar crimes, blue collar crimes. You're not tapping into no crimes. You are really literally moving forward. That is not easy. That is not easy.
It's the battle of my life, and this is why I'm sticking who are in the right position. I don't care if they don't have great spirit for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to know how passionate I am about changing my life, because I still struggle today. I'm not perfect. Still struggle today to stay on the right path. It's so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to lose I have a daughter now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, go through that no more. So I stay connected with people who will keep my mind in the right spot. I'm thankful for Coach Stormy for her meditation, because I was losing my mental, trying to figure out.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for getting on today. I really, really appreciate you.
The meditation has really helped, you know, keep me clear. Like, I calm my thoughts don't be racing.
Yeah. Well, we running out of time. I want to thank you for getting on this morning, sharing your story. I know you crying and all of that, but I gotta hang up on you. I'm sorry. You already know. Bye. Get off. Get off. Get off. Just get off with them tears. Just getting on here crying and shit. It's time for meditation. She's still talking. Can't even say nothing. No, I'm just kidding. You know how it is, though. Guys, it's time for meditation. It's time for Coach Stormy to ring the bowl. Let's not forget, guys, we have the Vision Board Party coming up in December. The tickets are now in the link in my bio. So you guys can go ahead. You're welcome, Coco Bless, True Star. Y'all make sure y'all follow her. Y'all follow her. We got to keep people encouraged and inspired. Make sure that you buy tickets for the Vision Board Party. VIP tickets are now on sale for a very, very, very low, cheap price for all 3 nights, okay? All 3 nights. And all of the access that you will receive is on the website too as well. So let's get ready for Coach Stormy. And there's a new thing that I'm going to be doing. So those of y'all who are watching, the reason that I have to hang up and start over again, I did that on purpose, was because Facebook and Instagram is blocking the music. So we're going to listen to the music. We're going to cheer, party, dance, all of that stuff. But we're going to come back with a new video so I can save this video without the music. So therefore, I do not get blocked. All right. Y'all have a wonderful and amazing day today. Love you all. Peace. Bye-bye.